So the other day, I was looking at my YouTube channel and I noticed it's been over 3 months since I last did a solely focused Bleach video, aside from the Yu Yu Hakusho crossover that I did with Bleach, which I made years ago and I just, re-uploaded or whatever. I haven't done a solely focused Bleach video in over 3 months. So I wanted to talk about the state of Bleach and kind of where I feel it's at right now. Now, the last big announcements we had about Bleach were those novels that were supposed to come out. One of them, I believe, already came out, and I believe the other one is either about to come out or probably has come out already. But pretty much, that was the last big announcement we had. I read a little bit of the first novel. I think I even did a review on here of the first chapter. And honestly, the novel, for what it is, it doesn't seem all that exciting, to be honest with you. I think there was like one major thing in there that it kind of confirmed, which maybe in a future video I'll talk about, depending on what else goes on with that novel, because I want to read the whole thing before I really jump in with talking about it. Because even though I did the first chapter, it was kind of slow, and it's like, well, maybe if I read the whole thing, it'll make more sense and kind of be a little bit more of an enjoyable experience. So we had those novels announced, and pretty much that's been it regarding Bleach. I know that there was a couple of tweets from Tite Kubo where he basically explained that the main reason why he brought back his Twitter was to find that kid, the kid that was sick, and he's had some progress on it, but that's pretty much it, and that he doesn't really know what he wants to do from here on out with the Twitter, so he hasn't really been tweeting like that. And there hasn't really been much else aside from like little stories here or there. There was a rumor that CyberConnect 2 was going to be making some sort of Bleach game. Pretty much what happened was, on Twitter, one of the creators of CyberConnect 2, or one of the people down there, one of the developers, he said, yeah, so there's one of my crew drawing Bleach or something like that, and there was like a whole miscommunication in that regard. But it was basically just one of his people was drawing Bleach, and he's like, hey, we don't make Bleach, what's going on here? So we had that. And the major thing, I guess, that's happened with Bleach recently, because I said there hasn't been that many things, but I guess there's been tiny inklings. But the biggest thing is the people that developed the Bleach Brave Souls game also decided to create a new game, which it kind of looks somewhat like Brave Souls, except the characters look like normal instead of being chibi-ized and looking like small or whatever. They actually look like they're normal size, but the combat pretty much looks similar to Brave Souls, so it isn't like the biggest deal where you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I gotta play this new Bleach game or whatever. I mean, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt that maybe it's something cool and exciting, but it'll probably be a gacha game, because normally, and in case you don't know, gacha game is one of those, pay to get the cards and gambling in a sense, those type of games or whatever. It'll probably be something along the lines of that, because that's where the mobile market is, and that's where they make money from, people constantly buying stones or whatever type of currency that the game has at the time. That's pretty much what I'm guessing that's going to be as well. Combat looks cool, but essentially it just seems like Brave Souls with the more realistic Bleach design, so nothing to write home about there. And honestly, it's really sad what's become of Bleach, because there are series that were its contemporaries at the time, like Naruto and One Piece, and a lot of those series there, even though Naruto ended, for example, is still going on, and of course One Piece hasn't ended yet, and it'll still go on for many years. But it seems as though at this point, really, Bleach is dead in the water. There's no new announcements. I mean, Bleach Brave Souls, I guess, is the exception, and the mobile games, because they could shell out a mobile game of anything. Anything can be made into a mobile game, and people will flock to it, because that's really what mobile games are for. They're easier to make than a console game, and people are just going to gravitate towards it and help the developers make a little bit of extra money. But we don't really have much else. I mean, the only thing to look forward to for the future of Bleach is the live action film that's supposed to be coming out in 2018, and we talked about that quite a few months ago as well, and the reports of what it's looking like. And honestly, it's not looking like it's going to be anything impressive either. And the fact that it hasn't been confirmed for like a trilogy set, if it was like a trilogy, it'd be a different story. But the fact that it's seemingly only going to be one film, and they're more than likely going to adapt Soul Society into that one film, which is like 20 odd volumes, something along the lines of that, or 60 something episodes worth of content in the anime, going to be condensed down to a film. I'm looking at that like, oh, this could be a train wreck. This could be a train wreck. So, you know, even the live action film isn't anything really to be that excited over, and it's unfortunate, and I really wish that there was more. And it's like, holy shit, you know, I was reviewing this series and we was all talking about this series for a long time. I mean, I started reviewing it, I believe, back in 2011, and I reviewed it all the way from 2011 until its completion in 2016. And yeah, it's like, I feel as though, to a certain degree, people, the publishers at the very least, if not the publishers and the magazine, they just don't have any more interest in even trying to make something out of it. Because, I mean, it's already a fact out there that in Japan, at the very least, which at the end of the day, Japan is where anime and manga predominantly make their money. Yes, there's the exceptions like the Dragon Balls that make money in the West, and Naruto makes money in the West, but majority of it is in Japan. And the fact that the Japanese have really moved on from Bleach, and you know, anytime there's ever any new mentions of Bleach, a lot of the comment section, for example, from the Japanese readers and stuff like that, will mainly be like, oh yeah, Bleach, that's not cool. I believe even one of the people that is working on the Bleach live action film, he tweeted out, hey, I showed my sister's friend that I'm working on the Bleach live action film, and she said, oh, that's so old, why are you even into Bleach? Bleach is like, you know, pretty much old thing. I was like, god damn, even the little ones move past Bleach. You know, it sucks, because like, Bleach was just dealt such a raw hand, and you know, we talked about it a lot, and I hate to come back after pretty much like almost over 3 months of not really talking about Bleach and to come and say this, but it really feels as though Bleach just doesn't have anything going for it. And you never know, maybe in another 5 years they decide, because they've been bringing back a lot of franchises, you know, a lot of franchises that we thought died off. They're coming back with reboots or remakes, or just in general a new season. I mean, even D. Gray Man, that not many people were talking about D. Gray Man for a long time. You know, the manga wasn't coming out anymore because the mangaka was sick and there was other problems. And even D. Gray Man came back with a new anime, and yeah, people actually cared. So, I mean, there's always the potential in the future for Bleach to do something great, and mainly what I believe a lot of us, or if not majority of us, would like, that we do, you know, still care about Bleach, is for the anime to come back. But as of right now, it just really feels like it's dead in the water. And I mean, even the fact that they decided with the big announcement to do a live action film opposed to doing, like, you know, bringing back the anime, because at this point, I'll be 100% honest with you guys, I would be totally okay. And I know a lot of people will say, no, but the fact that we have nothing of Bleach to go on, and every now and then, you know, even the lowest Bleach fan that doesn't really care that much about it but still has a occasional enjoyment to it, would like some new Bleach content. Like, I'd be fine if they did the 1,000-Year Blood War in a couple of movies, or even fuck it, you know, a few episodes of it. If that's all they're gonna give us, then I'll still be satisfied, because there's nothing else. The Bleach franchise at this point is legit dead in the water. And the fact that the creator, Tite Kubo, really hasn't been doing anything to change my opinion on that. I mean, again, it seems as though even he's kind of washed his hands of it. Yeah, he did that, you know, crazy Mayuri cosplay, which was funny as shit, but it's not like he's really talking about trying to do anything new for the franchise. It would be nice even if he decided, hey, I want to do a side story or something like that, but all we really have is the next novel that's supposed to come out, that's supposed to show us Hisagi's Bankai, which I'm still excited for that. Well, I don't know if they're really going to show it, more so describe it, because again, it's a novel. Maybe we'll get a drawing or something in there to showcase it, who knows. But like, that's really all we have. And the live action film, that could be a catastrophe, and the new Brave Souls deal, that's going to be more than likely a gacha game, which again, I play a lot of gacha games, you know. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, I play Dragon Ball Z, Dokkan Battle, I play, you know, quite a few gacha games, to the point where it's like, I'll give it a try. And again, I'll give it first impressions, and I'll play it on here so you guys could take a look at it and make your own decision. But it sucks, man. It really sucks. It seems as though Bleach is really just, as of right now, in the worst state possible. It's almost just non-existent. But I'm kind of curious what you guys think regarding Bleach and the state it's in right now, to the point where it's almost non-existent. How do you feel? Do you feel that Bleach is truly, and you know, this was a meme even while the series was going on after the Fullbring arc, that Bleach is dead, but it really feels as though this time the meme isn't just a meme anymore, and the franchise really just doesn't have much going on for it anymore. Again, kind of curious what you guys think. How do you feel about Bleach at this point? And if they were to bring, you know, the anime back, for example, with the 1,000-Year Blood War, but they decided to condense it in a really small form. Would you be okay with that, or would you be disappointed? I mean, there's a lot of content that does need to be covered, and honestly, in order for Bleach to have a proper adaptation, it would take a lot of episodes. I don't think any studio at this point in time would actually invest that much into Bleach, so at most, the best case scenario would be for Bleach to come back with maybe at least like 24 to 30 episodes or something like that. And your overall thoughts on Bleach right now? I mean, I just recently bought the Blu-ray box set, and I'm gonna rewatch that because it seems as though that's the only way to get a Bleach fix nowadays. It sucks, but that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. Bleach, come back soon.